welcome to the Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and the biscuit work all night for a drink of rum. Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you very much. That's what that little pause was at the start. I was just thinking.
See.
We're your hosts, Jade and James.
Hello.
That's Jade. I'm James. We have just seen. Well, we started season 4.
Mm-hmm.
We started that with Star Wars. That was good. And then you said we should do a Beetlejuice one.
We should, and here we are.
And I put it to a poll, and yep, here we are. We just watched Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick thing. We're not going to talk about Beetlejuice straight away, because we think we have a few things to say.
Yes.
So, this is mostly down to our cinema experience today.
Mm-hmm.
We've reached out to a friend of ours, and they've had a similar experience.
Yes.
We are under the impression that cinema etiquette is on the downward spiral.
Yes. I was saying in the car on the drive back that back in 2019, when we were hit with the really big giants, we had The Lion King, we had a lot of Disney stuff happening, we had all the Marvel films that came out, really big audiences for those movies. Mm-hmm. And I went during opening nights, did not have a problem at all with audiences. Mm-hmm. Audiences seem to understand that you sit in there and you shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. You do not play on your phone. Mm-hmm. You enjoy the magic of the cinema. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that's all disappeared. We have a bit of a theory.
Well, you have a theory.
Well, I have a theory.
Okay.
I feel like with what happened with COVID, where the cinemas had to shut.
The sinners?
The cinemas had to shut. Uh-huh. So it meant that people had to watch their movies online.
Yes.
And you still can watch movies online.
At home.
Indeed, because a lot now have an early release as well, so you can watch it early. Mm-hmm. On demand, which is great. People forget nowadays, for some reason, that they are not at home when they are watching when they're watching a film at the cinema. We had some really weird people sat in front of us that were pointing at the screen, that were talking, that were mumbling to each other, that were talking as if they were on Gogglebox.
It was almost like it was their first cinema experience. It
was one of the weirdest things ever. But it wouldn't be just as a one-off coincidence. It's been happening all year.
Yeah.
And it started towards the end of last year. People just can't seem to sit down without looking at their phones every 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Or talking to one another. It's like you're not watching this in your living room. You're watching it with other people that have paid to watch this film.
Yeah.
Just forget your phone. Forget other people. Just enjoy the magic of the movies.
Wow, okay. The cinema we were in today, as soon as they sat down, we thought, okay, we think we know what sort of people these are. Mm-hmm. As in the talkers, the phoners, the loud chewers, potentially.
Yeah.
We were right.
Yeah.
And we tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. In the trailers, we think, okay, you can talk in the trailers, that's fine. And then the film started. And for we caught Beetlejuice for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then we just thought, right, now is the time for us to just dip out.
Because these people are not going to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep talking. Within that 5 minutes, there's a bit of a weird animation sequence, and the guy went, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Yeah.
Really loudly. For everyone else to hear, I think.
Yeah, what the fuck am I watching, like that?
Yeah.
And that was when, well, we left, but 2 people in front of them moved away from them.
Yeah.
And
I've got a feeling their chair was being kicked as well.
Yes. Their chair was being kicked by an unclothed shoe. A foot.
Yes, these people decided it'd be a good idea to take their shoes off, 2 bare feet, and have them up close to where the people in front were sitting's faces.
And you did say there was a weird smell coming from those people.
There was they smell anyway, but it was. Oh.
But foot smell, leave that shit at home.
No.
Just don't bother going to the cinema if that's how you're going to behave.
Yeah, we left the screening because we thought we can't be arsed with this sort of stuff. Cineworld, to be fair, were really good.
Yeah.
We just went in and watched the next one, which started about 10 minutes afterwards anyway, so it wasn't so bad. And we were sat in a cinema then that was full of people that clearly wanted to watch the film, because even though it was a busy screen, a bit later there were a lot of couples just enjoying date night who all just sat and watched the film.
Yeah.
Like, people!
I think the reason we dipped out so early, I think we could have gone, can you guys be quiet and then maybe watch a bit more of the film, and then they still do it. If the fact that we dipped instantly, essentially, is that we didn't get too sucked into the movie.
Yeah.
We could just restart it again.
And my God, that needed to happen.
Absolutely.
Because, as we'll get to in a little bit, especially the last third of this, I fucking loved it so much. I wouldn't have wanted anybody's stupid comments or feet or phone to distract me from any of it.
I bet they filmed it.
I
bet they put it on their Snapchat or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our cinema experience. Credit to the staff at the Cineworld that we went to. They couldn't have treated us any better.
Yeah.
And they were very helpful. So, credit to them and credit to us for behaving like normal people.
Yes.
Because we dipped out, we managed to see Beetlejuice, well, almost twice. My expectations for it, and I wanted to dip out in the first 5 minutes because I was looking forward to it. I think when we did a trailer talk on it a few months ago, we weren't kind about this movie.
No.
Have your opinions changed now that you've watched the movie?
Yes.
Okay. So, therefore, that trailer talk episode is...
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but what I didn't like about it, I still didn't like about it. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
What a weird thing to say.
Yeah. My expectations for this were low. Incredibly low. And I think it's because any trailer I saw, any TV spot I saw, and now Michael Keaton's doing these Instagram reel things, I just thought, I don't like what they're putting out.
It looked very cringe.
The problem is that trailers sometimes withhold footage that you can't release just to make the film a better experience.
Well, they do one or the other. They'll show you everything.
Yeah.
Or they'll show you not enough.
Yeah. And I think that's the case.
Yeah.
I think we've seen, in the trailers anyway, we've seen scenes that aren't, they're not heavy on the plot. I think they're just throwaway gags or things like that. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie.
I was. Definitely.
Let's talk about it then. So, everyone's back. Not everyone's back. I don't think we should go into spoilers on this one.
No, because it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair. Because I was surprised by some of the stuff they did, even though some of it was a rinse repeat. But, let's chat about it. So...
One thing I did want to say is, how autumnal did this movie feel?
Okay, and that's one thing I didn't like about the movie.
What?
I said what I said. So, it starts off, the theme's happening, and I love that theme tune. I could listen to that theme tune twice today. We listened to it twice today because we saw that bit. However, I think the overall feel of the film, it didn't feel like Beetlejuice. It felt like Casper.
I know what you mean, because I had the opposite. It felt more a bit like Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, yeah.
Because of this kind of the setting of the town. But I loved that. I thought this is something that I could now put on every October to get me in that Halloween mood. Whereas the original one, I'd watch it for him, because he would get me in the mood. Mr. Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But I felt the aesthetic of this. I loved it so much. It made me feel all cosy in autumn. It's got me all excited.
Okay, good. Tim Burton, Wednesday. You've seen Wednesday. Am I correct in thinking this?
I have.
This Wednesday, I feel, is a turning point for Tim Burton in his career. It's come at a point where, and Tim Burton, he's had hits, he's had misses. I would argue he's had more misses than.
Yeah.
I like his style, but sometimes I think he completely misses the mark. I'm not talking your Batmans. I'm not talking your Edward Scissorhands. I'm talking your Charlie and Chocolate Factories, your Alice in Wonderlands, your Dumbos. I think everyone knows that those films aren't any good. So, going into this, I was like, oh, Tim Burton back on the big screen. I've had a lot of bad experiences with Tim Burton. Is he back on his game?
I thought he was.
Yeah?
I really thought he was. I absolutely loved the set pieces in this. I thought it was great.
One thing I'd love to see it, is the costume designer credit in this. Gets it comes up bold and beautiful.
Yeah.
Colleen Atwood. Beautiful costumes in this.
Yeah.
And there was an animatronic credit that came up as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm in. So there's work's gone into it to make it feel a little bit like the original Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And when those moments get a time to shine, that's when this film is gold for me.
Yeah. Because
the costume is spot on. The animatronics are even better.
Yeah.
And I was worried that they were going to CGI it.
Yeah, because as we talk about all the time on the podcast, we love to see some practical effects, and we got it.
Yeah.
And that pleases me.
We got it in some... We got it in some, like, very subtle ways, but then sometimes it was like, look at this animatronic we've built.
Look at this.
Okay, well, let's... The animatronic in mind I've got, anyway. There's one we talk about because it'll spoil.
Yeah.
But the little shrunken head characters...
Bob.
Well, there's one, Bob, who is essentially his Beetlejuice's right-hand man. And he's a lead player in this.
Doesn't Gru have a lead minion called Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just my thought.
I don't think that's an accident that all these people...
And that's what made me go, they all look the same in Beetlejuice's world as well, in his little office. Is it a bit of a... Was it Despicable Me 4 has been out this summer? It's still in the cinema now.
Yeah.
Is it a bit of a...
So you're saying this is Despicable Me for goths?
Yes.
Okay, cool. The practical stuff on this is spectacular. And I do love the set design for most of the afterlife stuff. Not all the real world stuff. Yeah,
I think that's the same though with the original. The afterlife stuff, or when they bring the afterlife into the real world, is when it's at its best.
Okay.
Before you get to that, I find it boring.
The first one?
Yeah, I do. I felt like the stuff initially when the ghosts are trying to navigate their way around the living. I find all that drags a little bit for me.
I see what you mean. Here I felt it more.
Yeah, it did. Because I feel like they're trying to build a story from scratch using characters that you know and love.
Yeah. And I think the leap between the two films, I don't think the gap has been bridged at all.
It's not been bridged the best.
It could have been better. We've spoke in the trailer talk episode that a Beetlejuice sequel was in talks for years, decades even, and that they wanted him to go to Hawaii.
Yes.
Are you glad he didn't go to Hawaii?
He does not need to be in Hawaii in any way, shape or form.
That's the last thing Hawaii needs, is just have Beetlejuice running around.
We don't need to see Beetlejuice on a beach. I mean, come on. We've seen Freddy Krueger was on a beach in one of the...
He was!
In one of the Nightmare films, and it just looked stupid. We don't need to see these characters in silly costumes. We need to see them doing their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of his thing, Keaton's back as Beetlejuice. And we've had mixed feelings about this for a while, that Keaton's going back to these old characters. We saw The Flash. We have mixed feelings about The Flash.
No, I don't have any mixed feelings. I know it's shit.
But he was okay.
It's shit.
Keaton is a sort of actor who always delivers, I think.
He delivers, but is that film good? No, it's shit.
But he's good in that film.
You can't say that it's a mixed film then. It's a shit film.
But he is good.
And he's hardly in it. When he is in it, he's good, but that's it.
He is good.
One performance does not a good film make, but...
I don't know.
It doesn't.
Okay, fine. But we've seen Keaton recently has gone a bit more Oscar, Emmy, award-winning heavy. Your Birdmans. We watched Dopesick.
Oh, Dopesick is great in that.
He's really good in that movie.
It's not a movie, it's a TV show.
Oh, TV show, yeah. Here he's going back to a character he played 30-odd years ago. Do you think he tapped into it well?
No.
You don't? Okay. Explain.
No, I feel like the characters almost feel like he's needed to evolve a little bit. And I felt like he did that. But he's not the sprightly young Beetlejuice he used to be. Not as chaotic as his character used to be either.
I do appreciate that.
I feel like it was done purposefully. At least I'd like to think so, because I do think he looks tired compared to the original. I
don't think his makeup's quite as good as it was.
No.
The problem is when you grow older, something happens to your vocal cords and your voice just gets naturally deeper.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you have to really tune your ear to it. You have to tune your ear to his voice in the first one, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But in this one, you really do, because he's like, it is really down there. And I do miss the moments where he'd break character almost. The bit was, I tended Juilliard and stuff like that. He didn't do that as much.
He's a bit like the genie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Him.
But he didn't do that as much in this. There's a few glimpses of it, and I thought, that's there it is.
That's the guy that we know and love.
There he is. I think his energy levels are as good. I think he, maybe after each take, just passed out on the floor. I just think he really... There's a moment where he's in the office with all these shrunken head creatures, and he's just sort of jumping around, and then he'll pop up behind another character, and I think an attempt's been made, and credit to him for doing it as good as he did in this.
Yeah.
But it's not quite there.
No. I don't think it was ever going to be, either.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as the trailers made it look like it was going to be.
And we really did him dirty.
We did him dirty in the trailer,
And
but to be fair, the trailers don't do him any justice.
Oh, no, we really talking about that.
And I'm not going to lie, the juice is loose line is still cringe.
Oh, come on.
It's still cringe, no matter...
Seven people stood up and applauded in our screen.
No, they did not. I got up and took my shoe off.
Yeah. Look at this. I'm wearing a new shoe. Okay, fine. Returning characters again. Winona Ryder's back. Catherine O'Hara's back. There's a family dynamic there. Mm-hmm. However, there's a certain family member missing.
Well, not really missing, but they've done something on purpose to that character.
If you haven't heard, the guy who plays the dad in the original Beetlejuice, and he's Ferris Bueller's principal, and he's in loads of 80s movies.
Mr. Deeds.
He's the bad guy in Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear in our Beetlejuice Trailer Talk podcast, he did the bad naughties.
Yeah, he's cancelled for very good reason.
Absolutely. And just just Google his name, and
you'll see why.
You'll see why. I think it's weird I don't think it's weird that they mentioned that they cut him out of this. It's that they mention him as much as they do. Yeah.
But I suppose did he play a big part in the original one? Was it him that was pushing for the...
I think you could take that character out of the original movie and the movie would play out the same.
Yeah, I agree. It takes a very secondary role to it.
Yeah. So the fact that maybe the first half an hour of this, they mention him a lot, I just thought the reason he's not in this movie is because he's probably in jail. That's it. And that took me out of it a bit. But that's me bringing stuff I know to this. Mm-hmm. Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
She's Stranger Things-ing.
She is. I love her in Stranger Things.
Do you love her in general?
I think I do. I really do. I think that she's just, oh my God, she's gorgeous to watch. She's tiny though, isn't she? She's so small.
I couldn't even see her.
I mean, like she's so dinky, isn't she?
Where is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem I have with Winona Ryder in this one, in the first one it's fine, she's a teenager one. And I like some of her other films. Heather's great. In this one, she is full on. You watched Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
You know that the scene at the start and the end where she's the grandma and she's talking like this?
Yeah.
She's doing that again. Mm-hmm. And she's playing it like an old woman.
Yeah, you forget the Lydia that you knew from the original film.
Yeah.
She's very different in this. She's grown up. Yeah. But she's not grown up into a character that you maybe would have thought she would have done.
You would think she would have gone, because she was taught by the Maitlands, that they would have had their wits about them to raise her right and let Catherine O'Hara dip in every now and then.
But Catherine O'Hara's sassy.
Catherine O'Hara almost steals the movie.
Yeah, but if Catherine O'Hara's sassy, she herself is sassy. Mm-hmm. You'd have thought she'd have carried on with that, but then we learn there's traumas and stuff in there that really broke her character. So it's how she's kind of built herself back up. So you can see why. But I think anyone going in expecting to see the same Lydia, you don't see it.
They've done her dirty with that hairstyle as well.
It doesn't do anything for her. You could have still made her that original character and made her still quite gothic without her having to have that horrible fringe.
It's that fringe. Just get rid of the fringe.
It looks like it's been chopped with one of those scissors that can't even cut paper at school. You know, the big red ones they used to give you in primary school. It was done with them. Catherine
O'Hara is an icon.
Oh, she is.
This much we know. You haven't seen Schitt's Creek.
No.
I have seen Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek. I think she's phenomenal in Schitt's Creek. Her character here is not the character from Beetlejuice. Her character here is the same character from Schitt's Creek.
I said, I've not seen it, so I can't say.
It's just missing the slight speech twang she puts on it, the accent, but I don't think it's a stretch from it.
Oh, she's still incredible though.
She is great, but she's good. She's got a comedy background. Mm-hmm. She does improv and stuff like that, and I think that shows. And I think she steals it from a lot of really good actors in this.
Yeah, I think if anyone's going for Jenna Ortega, you're not getting anything particularly special from her. I didn't dislike her character. Sorry, I'll say it. I didn't dislike her character though. Mm-hmm. I thought it was good because again, the problem is with her. You could have easily fallen down either a Wednesday kind of hole where people are expecting to come and see her play that same character again.
Yeah.
Or someone expecting her to come and play Lydia again.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. She's got to step away from two very iconic characters.
Yeah. She, again, you've not seen Scream? She
No.
plays a similar character in Scream. A bit of a naivete, a bit of a, I'm not bothered.
Anti-teenager.
Yeah. And I don't think that shows much range. But I think the parts that she's picking aren't.
Yeah, that's where I think that I think she'd be between a bit of a rock and a hard place with this, because I think there's a lot of what movie audiences are expecting from her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have given her character much more to do.
She's good in the movie.
Yeah.
She's not unlikable by any means, but she doesn't carry the movie.
Oh no, not one bit.
And I think that the problem I have with this film, I think it shows up in the credits. In the original Beetlejuice, it was like Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, Winona Ryder, with Michael Keaton. Mm-hmm. Keaton's top billing now.
Yeah.
And now it's got with Jenna Ortega, and I think that's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Keep Michael Keaton out of the main focus of the movie. Mm-hmm. He has a similar amount of screen time, maybe more. It felt like more.
It felt like more.
And I don't like that.
Oh, I didn't mind it.
What we got was good, but I would have liked to have seen less of him.
Someone who didn't get much screen time at all, but it must help being with Tim Burton, is Monica Bellucci.
Yes, absolutely. New additions. Jenna Ortega doesn't get a good one, but they really screw over Monica Bellucci in this. Why is she here?
That was my main question. You could have her character could have been cut out of this,
Yeah.
and you still would have had a very good movie.
She's playing... It's in the trailers and stuff. Essentially, she's playing Beetlejuice's ex-wife, who's after him for reasons we won't get into.
Yeah.
But the film does forget about her.
It does, and I hadn't forgotten about it because I like the way that she looks.
It's a bit, it's Sally, isn't it?
It's Sally mixed with a bit of Morticia.
Yeah. But I've seen a few films with Monica Bellucci in. That's not a stretch for her.
No, but she didn't have much to do.
And I feel bad for her.
It's not hard to do that.
Exactly. She could. I imagine that's how she just turned up on set. She's like, I want to be in this film. It's like, okay, sure,
Okay.
sure, okay.
There's always a part in the film for the director's girlfriend.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't think that's true. He's not dating Bellucci.
Let's find out.
Okay. While that's happening, there's the other additions. Willem Dafoe. Did you like having him in this movie?
He is always a blessing, no matter what.
He's a blessing, but again, he doesn't have much to do. And a lot of the comic relief, when it's not Catherine O'Hara and it's not Michael Keaton, does fall on Willem Dafoe. And most of his jokes do not land. Okay. Exclusive here. Tim Burton is dating Monica Bellucci.
So there's always a part in the film for the director's girlfriend.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe, do you like him?
Yes.
Was he funny? Did he get a laugh?
I didn't think he was necessarily funny, like laugh out loud funny, but I liked what he was doing with his character.
He'll always commit. We said this in the car on the way home. He'll always commit to anything. You could write the worst part for him and he'll bring everything he's got.
There's a particular sequence where I liked him getting into character a little bit in front of a mirror, which I thought was great.
Yeah. That was quite good. He plays it quite Willem Dafoe. Mm-hmm. And I wish he didn't. I've seen him do that shit before.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. Maybe some of the performances are very safe. It's what these actors can do. We've already seen them do.
Yeah.
They can do it, but they can do it well.
Yeah, I agree. Danny DeVito's in this for maybe 2 seconds. He gets top billing in the fucking trailer. If you are a Danny DeVito fan and you come to this for Danny DeVito, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it's not in as much as you might want him to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because it could have been.
And I liked the way they had him, like they had him made up as well.
No, again, I think he just turned up like that.
He just turned up like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
We're forgetting my baby boy though.
Wait, we've got 2 people we've not spoken about. We've got Justin Theroux, who plays Lydia's new piece.
Oh my god, he's great.
I think he was quite likeable.
He's likeable and smarmy. You're never quite sure what line he's on, whether or not he is legitimately there because that's what he's into.
Yeah.
Or he's using her.
There's he's quite yeah. You're not quite sure if he's up to something. But there was a scene. Well, I wasn't sure about his performance and stuff. But there's a scene where Catherine O'Hara's screaming in the house.
Yeah.
And he's carrying like some cardboard boxes, And then he hears her scream, and he just puts the boxes on his head.
He just goes running with them on his
just
head.
fucking runs. And I was like, that's won me over. And I liked him for the rest of the movie, I think.
That's all he needed to do.
He's the Otho character in the
Yes.
original. And I thought, okay.
Well, I feel like there's two people that take that role a little bit. I think it's split between two.
You think, who's the other one?
The guy who plays the priest.
The guy who plays the priest.
What's his name?
I couldn't tell you. Mr. Bern Gorman.
He was probably one of my favourite characters in this.
Yeah?
For no reason. His character is a priest, and he just keeps popping up in all these random scenes, but he just talks such a shit.
He talks like a priest does, though.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I really liked him.
That got a laugh out of me every time he appeared. And I just thought, you don't belong in this movie. Another addition is a little young chap who essentially instigates most of the first third of this.
Yeah.
And that's what one thing I didn't like.
Okay.
The film is crowded anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Every character has a goal, such as filmmaking, but some of them overlap. And I think you could cut some of them out, and the through line would still be the same.
Yeah, I think that his stuff with... I'd like to know his name.
I couldn't tell you. Jeremy or something?
Yeah,
It was Jeremy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's character Jeremy. You could keep his I think I quite liked his storyline. I thought it still made sense within the story. I'd have kept that because I feel like his scenes with Jenna Ortega were great. I'd have cut out the Monica Bellucci stuff. Mm-hmm. I'd have cut out the dad stuff.
Yeah.
That'd have been a way you could have made it better, I think, and really padded out that story a little bit more.
I think it'd bring more lore to the afterlife stuff, like the relationship between the living and the dead.
Yeah, and I'd have brought it to the afterlife quicker with those two.
The problem with doing... Everyone likes the afterlife stuff in the first one, and you have to double down.
Yeah.
We're in the afterlife for maybe half of the movie. But you can only do that so much because I imagine those sets are expensive because they look spectacular.
Yeah.
Bo Welch is back, the director of The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
You don't sniff piss.
You don't sniff piss.
You don't sniff piss, but yeah, the sets are as good as any Tim Burton movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But I'd like to spend more time in there. I don't like that we just cast off some characters from the original. Not the dad, couldn't care less. But two main players in the original aren't in this.
I don't think you could have had them in it with the already very convoluted cast.
Yeah.
I think otherwise it would have gone very Ghostbusters not Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
And that's too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It almost did fall into Ghostbusters Frozen Empire for me, where there's too much going on. However, I'm there for Keaton. I'm there for that storyline, and that was mostly the main focus.
Yeah. I think it could have been made perfect by just, again, taking that other bits I mentioned out. I think with the Maitlands, it's their little bit that they talk about in the film did make sense for them. And I was happy to learn what we did.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed to see them to know it. And I don't think there would have been room for them in this particular story to really navigate it so much.
Is Alec Baldwin even acting anymore?
I don't know.
Would have been good to see them again.
Yeah, but then again, it's going to fall into all the same traps that we said Ghostbusters had.
Yeah.
We don't need all these little cameos. We don't need to see them again. Sometimes just knowing that things have worked out is enough.
Yeah. That's a beautiful metaphor for, death itself, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sure.
And I meant every word of it.
You didn't.
I thought about it before I said it.
You started talking and your brain went, oh, okay, that is something then. When it gets going in this film. Both me and you got a lot out of it when it did.
We were loving it, yeah.
We got laughs. I couldn't hear anyone else laughing.
They were.
Good, because it would have been sad if it was just us two. There's a moment... You can't not do a dance sequence in this.
Yeah, people going to watch this because they remember the Banana Boat song and stuff.
You'll get it.
You're gonna get something like that in this.
Yeah. The problem I have with this version of it, and I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be best use of a bop. I'm telling you now, in the Golden Biscuits. That scene is so good and just so batshit. I enjoyed it more than that bit in Beetlejuice, the first one.
Yeah, it's one of the most random things I've ever seen. But I absolutely adored it. I was like, what the hell is happening? But I couldn't stop grinning.
Yeah. And I think that's the main reason this film won me over, is that it's charming.
Yeah, it literally, especially in that last third, it went completely balls to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? Here you go. Have this. I mean, there's other things we're keeping out because you feel like you should watch it for yourself.
Yeah. But when you watch it, you'll know what they are.
Yeah. Like, there's a particular animatronic we're keeping out.
Yeah.
But,
I do want to talk about that because it felt inspired by a film I really enjoy. And I was talking about it today at work.
Okay.
It's a film called Brain Dead. Mm-hmm. Or in some countries it's called Dead Alive. If there's anyone listening to this podcast who's seen Brain Dead, Dead Alive, and then watch Beetlejuice, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's the same. And I am here for it.
Oh my god, it was great.
It was quite grotesque.
Yeah. More grotesque than I was expecting Beetlejuice to go, especially because it happened a bit earlier than I was expecting it to. I was like, oh my.
Yeah. And then it comes back
later on and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was a good payoff though, for me. That. Do you think there'll be a third?
Yes.
When?
I don't know. I think how much money this makes will be very dependent on if we get another one.
Tim Burton films famously make a lot of money, not even taking into account the...
I feel like critics are liking this, though.
This had a standing ovation. Okay, film festivals, like the Venice one.
Yeah.
Where, this film got like an 11-minute standing ovation. That's too long. Mm-hmm. Sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Do your applause and sit down. You don't have to have a 12-minute standing ovation for something.
To prove that it's good.
Yeah. Oh, love it. It's like, fine, just do your applause. Yeah. Better than Space Jam, sure. Ow. This is why we're not invited to those festivals.
Yeah. Everyone else is still stood clapping away like, yeah, we've clapped now, we're going to go and get some food.
Yeah. It's like Joker's had a 5-minute one. I was like, oh, that's poor. That means they only
they don't like it as much as Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it's all depending on the amount of time you get standing ovations for.
Yeah, it's like I've been here about 4 days now. I'm still fucking clapping.
What film would you give a massive standing ovation for, do you think?
Debbie Does Dallas.
I'm not going to edit that silence out. But I had a great time with this. I was very pleasantly surprised. But only because, and if you listen back to our trailer talk episode, we weren't set on it. And even this morning, I was talking to people at work, and they said, yeah, it's going to be shit.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's completely made by its last third.
Yeah.
And go through the beginning bit. If it's a bit of a slog, it don't matter. It's coming. And when it comes, oh my God.
Everyone's invested in what they're doing.
Yeah.
That shows. I don't think anyone's doing a bad job at what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I just think some of them don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And it's good to have Tim Burton back. I can't remember the last film that felt like this, that he did.
I know.
It's probably maybe Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but even then it's not as dark as this.
No, I just thought it was so good.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything we've missed?
I don't think there is. I think it's up to now for people to go and watch it themselves quietly.
Yep.
And
shoe-filled viewings. Yeah.
Keep those shoes on, please.
Better than Space Jam?
Yes.
I agree. Yeah. Only because from the halfway point onwards, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I could watch Michael Keaton do anything. He could shit on the floor and I'd be like, that's fucking...
Oh, piece of work.
Yeah.
Piece of artwork.
Catherine O'Hara's great. They carry it more, those two.
Yeah.
But not for lack of trying from everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else is playing things that we've already seen them do. We've seen them act the way that they are.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't really bring anything new as such. But you know what? This is going to be added now to my yearly October playlist. I'm going to have this on.
The film, you mean?
Oh yeah, watch list.
Well, there's a few. One thing I don't like is that the score for this wasn't all Danny Elfman.
No, I felt like they got a DJ to just play some random noises halfway through.
It felt very.
Right, you do the theme song. Come on!
Come on! Dictionary.
That's basically what it was. It was just a theme song and someone just going, yeah.
It didn't feel... Yeah, the score wasn't as good as the songs that they chose to play.
Yeah.
And I thought Beetlejuice didn't ever drop a needle. And when it did, it was fucking the Banana Boat song or Jump in the Line. Not fucking whatever shit's playing on the indie chart anytime soon. Yeah, so that's one thing I didn't like. Mm-hmm. However, yeah, it's better than Space Jam.
Yay!
Yay! Which is weird, because I thought this was going to be a pile of shit.
Or mid.
Or mid. I enjoyed this more than Deadpool. I said it.
I think I did, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I did enjoy Deadpool, but not as much as I enjoyed this.
Deadpool didn't make me smile as much as this did.
No, I'd be happy to watch this again. I feel like we should double bill this and Alien.
Okay, because we want to see Alien.
I feel like we should, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We both get the 1980s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. They need to make if they're going to make a sequel, and I think they will.
I think they will.
Money talks. They need to do it quick.
I thought Money talks, but I also feel like Keaton loves this too. I feel like him, Winona, they all love this.
But they can't leave as big a gap.
No, they need to get it made quick, and I think that fans want it quickly as well. If you're going to do it though quickly, let's do it properly.
Yeah, but then if you can't do it properly, don't do it.
Yeah. It's like, if you can't do it properly, don't just smash out a Frozen Empire.
Yeah, for the sake of just getting everyone back. Mm-hmm. Take your time, but Keaton's pushing it.
Yeah.
Right? It's a good old time.
It is.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Put your shoes on, guys. And keep them on for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.